Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Realms of Awakened Essence RPG, Season 7, Episode 7, Dynamo. We are getting set up and getting ready to start our game. Just give us a few more minutes and we'll be starting this campaign off with a bang. So sit back, relax, grab some coffee or snack of choice, and we'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Realms of Awakened Essence RPG, Season 7, Episode 7, Dynamo. I think it's time that we introduce our party, and we're going to do things a little bit differently just for a change. So let me bring in the party, and we'll introduce them. Come on. Alright. Here is our party. Hi, I am Pia Kiniuse, your storyteller for... one of your storytellers for today. I go by RT Studios, and I'm your lead storyteller. And if we want to go to... how about we start on the far left bottom?
You mean me?
Yes.
Hello. I am Trisha Welsh. I am playing today one of your wonderful DMs, or rather, something's going to get weird. I also play Aya, Jokin, the tiefling. And I also, in this particular session, I also play the goddess Lady Mary.
All right. And who do you want to pass it off to?
To the lovely gentleman that way.
Fair enough. Hello.
Unless you're talking about the suit of armor, but I mean, he's not a character. He's just a suit of armor.
He's just vibing.
I playing Dr. Vess, kobold physician attending, with Nurse Gabrielle.
Nurse Gabrielle. Oh Lord.
Nerf.
Yep. And up top.
Oh, it's me. Hello. I'm known as Gearbox, and I control little Alex, Alduin, Magehand, and a variety of others like Flechette and Dark Matter. If I say everything, we'll be here all day.
All right. And our dear Moogie, as you may have not known, has left us sadly. And they will not be joining us for this game, at least to my knowledge. They may pop in later. Who knows? But we have enough players to play. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Realms of Awakened Essence. We've just met our cast, and we are going to hop right into it. So, after the opening intro, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
As our brave heroes emerge from the wormhole, an innocent industrial society, now on the tipping point of all-out revolutionary war, looms just 1,000 or so meters below them. Meanwhile, on the surface of the planet of Valcora, a young female inventor seeking answers to the unknown stumbles upon an unusual radio signal from above. Unable to contact the source of this transmission, she brings her findings to the Inventors Committee, only to be thrown out and mocked for her findings. However, desperate and determined, she sets to work to uncover the mysteries behind these transmissions. Will Anna be able to save her people and discover the source of these unusual signals? Only one person holds the key to the salvation.
Now, join us in this daring and death-defying adventure of Realms of Awakened Essence, Dynamo. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Realms of Awakened Essence. Where we last left off, our party was just about to enter the event horizon of this weird portal thing that Acererak opened up over the planet of Koba 3, which has now been saved. At least, that's what our party believes. But, what is the party gonna do as you are approaching the event horizon? What's happening on the ship?
Old one.
Well-
What the? You think it's safe to go into that, Major? It's like we don't have a choice.
Lady Mary kind of looks at Alduin and Magehead. Plus, Acererak still has Alex.
The Major just goes. Anyways, Mr. Jester Boy over here pointed that direction, so we have to go that direction anyways to get Alex.
Drac, all of you are kind of like surrounding like the operations table, like with the nav screen and stuff like that. Drac's just standing there. It's like, well, I don't know if the ship will be able to withstand the shearing force of that, whatever that is up there. But I can have engineering divert power to shielding, and we can try our best.
Bullshit things.
But I need
Just like,
options in case we don't make it out.
do we have any other helpers? Like, anything?
We do have 2 escape pods if you want to use
Not
them.
that.
But
Hopefully, it's not that desperate yet.
I hope too.
Let's not make it that desperate.
Could we? I know this might cause damage to the ship in the long run, but could we evacuate to the core sections of the ship and just focus our protection on like essential areas?
The bridge is the most protected place, he says, as well as sickbay and main engineering.
Also, I'm wondering how many days have passed yet? Because only 1 day passed it last time I checked.
Well, we're picking up right where we kind of left off, so not a day has passed, but like you guys, I
Okay.
mean, if you guys want to stay outside the event horizon and just kind of like creep closer towards it when you make a decision, that's up to you. I'll let you do that.
I was just checking the ace card.
Okay. Yep.
It's like
That's not activated
still
yet.
not fourth one. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna still try and balance that card out more
Fair enough.
by the way.
Yeah.
Even if I do get it, I'm not gonna use it.
True. So Drax just kind of like looking at the clink and clinks at the cockpit, and he says, "So, what's our plan?"
Lady Mary goes, we have to go in there to get Alex back. I mean, he got taken by Acererak.
I agree.
And I'm not gonna have another person being taken by him, especially since, well, Alex does have a soul, and Acererak is looking for souls.
Drac at the mention of
You
souls
hear
just
Colton go, "What?
raises an eyebrow and says, "Souls? Is that really what he's after?"
Why do you think Mookie sacrificed himself?
You have a point. All in favor of going after Acererak and finding Alex, say aye.
Flashlight goes,
I-
whoa, wait
Aye.
a minute. Also, but what the whoa? What do you
Okay.
mean?
Okay, Acererak and I kind of... Well, he's not powered by souls. I am.
Oh, okay.
He may not have a moving face, but you can tell he's squinting at you.
Drac just walks over to the
I am-
navigation console while you guys are doing this and punches in the
I-
chords.
Yeah, Lady Mary goes, I am... It's not that I take your souls. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm just... When I see souls, and souls that have done multiple things, that's what I'm powered by. I'm also kind of powered by music, but we haven't had a chance to sing, so don't worry about that.
Oh, so it's kind of like a soul induction thing.
He just kind of thinks to himself, like trying to think about Alex's soul. It's like that's difficult though. I'm not good with death. There's only one person I know with death, and you met him. He says, while pointing to you, Lady Mary.
And Lady Mary goes, yes, I did meet him. And as I said, I don't take souls. I leave the souls right where they are. That's where they're supposed to be. I don't take them. It's just that when I'm around them, That's how I get my power.
Ah.
The ship is slowly creeping towards the event horizon.
Ugh. This space stuff. I hope we never get to it in my world.
Is it slow enough that I could take a short rest and get my spell slots
Yes, you
back?
can. Yes,
Okay.
that I will
Sounds like-
allow.
Well, my character can't get her spell slots back, but she's not a warlock,
Yep.
so...
Yep.
Yep. Oh, speaking of, if we've
Yep.
got the chance to do this, if we're taking the short rest,
Mhm.
I can give people
Hit points.
temporary hit points.
Yep.
So up to 5 people
Okay.
can take 10 temporary hit points. So
Okay.
Nice.
10 temporary hit points.
10, yeah, 5 people, 10. So it's gonna let's focus on party characters, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Five-
got it.
5 additional party characters can take 10 temporary hit points.
Yeah,
Got it.
All right.
Alduin gets hit points, I guess.
As I picture he creates he has a pot of tea that he gives would you like some tea?
Alduin doesn't even
Yeah.
have full health. He's not that low in health, but he only has 112, but he's supposed to have 122.
Fair enough. So the
You just
ship
kind of healed him
kind
almost.
of the ship
So-
kind of just
so-
creaks a little bit as it's slowly entering the cusp of the event horizon.
So we're going to switch from that to a scene with Acererak and Alex.
Uh-oh!
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
Okay, what is happening? I can't roleplay if there's nothing happening.
well, Acererak is now looking down upon a cage. With, there is a very angry werewolf in it.
He is, trying to peel the bars back.
Mm. Is he saying anything?
Let me go, you fucking stupid old... Go... Ah!
You were the one who decided to bite me, and then conveniently succumb to one of my many charms. And Alex, you see that Joker grin, and it's a lot more terrifying in real life than it is in the dreams.
roll Constitution saving throw.
Khan! It was Werewolf Khan. I'm not sure if his +4 blood rage thing is still on or not.
It's still on. Yes.
It's still
okay.
on. That
Yep.
that hasn't gone away.
Oh, then he at least he has a 0 in his con, so he
Just
gets a +4
roll.
to that. Yeah. Wait, yeah, that's how you do it. Took me
Yes.
a minute. I was trying to remember how to roll. Well, I rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're looking at this lich of a creature and this smile, and the lich part isn't what's unsettling. It's this smile.
Oh,
It's
no.
just so unsettling. Just kind of it to you. It kind of goes on forever.
He kind of lets go of the bars and stumbles a bit back.
Good dog. Now I and you will have the opportunity to contact that ship that's out there, coming ever so more closely to this lovely wormhole that I have created. Should I bargain for your life, little one?
He just kind of stares at him, but not eye contact wise.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, how to do this to create the most chaos? And then you hear the laughter, which is almost as unsettling as the smile.
Oh God,
Yeah.
my poor boy! My
And now we
boy.
switch back to the rest of the group.
Meanwhile, on the ship, you just hear, man, as you just hear see lights flashing, and it's indicate the ship's basically alerting you, hey, you're entering a dangerous section of the.
Aya is kind of sitting there going, okay, are we... I mean, I know I said eyes because we need to save Alex, but... Are we really trying to go into a portal? A wormhole? What is this thing? There is nothing like this on the world that we came from.
Well,
Pusha just
I mean,
I don't
you
know
can-
any of this. I came from a world of steampunk stuff. He says, leaning back.
Drac just looks over his shoulder and says, "Well, I don't know where this ends up or where this goes, but we'll have to find out. Everyone strap in."
Okay, I'll
strap
strap.
in, right.
Then-
Okay.
Alto's like, strap it. How do I do that again? And Mage's like, you did this about 10 times already.
That's like Mage Hand is like strapping him in and then straps himself in.
Yeah.
Vince goes and gets the like child booster seat, puts it on one of the seats, hops up on it, and belts himself in.
And Clink is just counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the stars field just kind of blurs in front of you, and the ship just shudders violently for a moment. I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Why wisdom?
Because
Why not?
the this is a kind of like a time dilation thing, and it's going to affect your mental acuity.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, actually, this isn't going to bother any of my spells because that's off
Alright.
of charisma, not.
And I need to roll for Drac and stuff like that, because also Clink.
Oldwin rolled a 12 if it was best.
I only rolled a 13.
Oh Lord.
Hey,
It's
guys.
one of my good saves too.
Poor Aya.
Oof, Drac.
Aya had a 10. Aya had a 10.
Oh no. I think we're all rolled pretty low in this situation.
Oh God.
Okay, thankfully our pilot is safe.
That would have been bad.
Clink is fine.
I think it's fine.
Oh good.
But Drac just kind of like conks out at the helm, and he just slouches
Oldwin
over,
may not be okay.
and then he slouches over and just hurls like all over his lap.
Oh.
Hey, that's
Ooh.
disgusting.
Anyone else who rolled below 15 needs to
Oh no. Oldwin, my boy!
is going to have some
So-
kind of side effect.
Okay,
Decide.
best as a side effect.
So does Aya. Oh, I've got to roll for Lady Mary. Hey,
Yeah.
give me a second.
Take
no
your
one,
time.
absolutely no one.
You can roll for Gabrielle too if you want.
You can. Is she
Let's do
out right
that.
now? Because if she's
probably
not,
actually,
okay,
he does usually keep her like out and invisible. So
right, like at the science station or tactical.
yeah, like hovering nearby.
Yeah.
Or on his shoulder.
Okay.
Lady Mary's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Oldwin's like, I don't feel
That was a
so good.
27. Lady Mary's fine.
yeah.
Wow.
So this time
Oldwin
dilation
rolled
stuff
not
is
good.
She rolled a
pretty.
15. So just made it.
Yeah.
Just made it.
She manages to. It comes up, but then she swallows it back down. Meanwhile, everyone
poor
else
Aya-
is. How do they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aya's going. Oh,
Re-entry. Clink just says re-entry in 5, 4, 3, 2. And the
Drac?
navigation computer is just like recalibrating. And the alarms are still going off and stuff like that, but Drac is slouched over his chair and he is out for right now.
oh God. Okay, Clink. This is Aya. Clink. Oh,
Yes,
God.
Captain. He looks over his shoulder and says,
I think he's going to be out for a few minutes. Just let him be.
"You are designated as first officer. What are the orders?"
Where is Acererak's ship? Oh God.
Scanning. Punches in some
Anybody
commands.
get the number of that dragon that ran over me?
And
Oh,
up on the main viewer, you just see a 9 planets, 2 sequence stars, 1 asteroid belt, and a couple like red giants, not red giants, but like gas giants and stuff like that, close to the sun, which is kind of unusual for for a system. You'd expect gas giants not to be as close to the main sequence star and further out, but there are about 5 large gas giants, one with quad rings, which looks a little bit interesting, and then you have another that's a couple moons, maybe some small like K class planets, and then but the 9th planet is an M class with 2 moons orbiting it.
That's a lot of planets.
Which one is the ship? Oh,
I can't detect any ship. They must be either have some kind of cloaking mechanism, or their vessel is hidden. We'll need to survey the system to find them.
Fleshitz is like, let me just do my sword thing again. He says, well, puts his hand out.
It points to
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It points
That's
to
that's
the
will
9th planet.
unclip himself from the restraint.
Okay, my sword is in that direction. That means he's got to be that direction. At least, yeah.
well, you also can't tell how far away he is. You just know that,
Yep.
that your sword is in that direction, correct?
Well, I can kind of sense its distance, but it's very loose. I can tell if it's right next to me, or I can tell it's far away from me, but that's all I can tell.
Computer, set course to the 9th planet in this system. Acknowledged.
Meanwhile, back on the ship.
Meanwhile, fun times are happening.
Acererak is going. Well, now let's see if we can find that ship. I know it followed us in here. Computer.
I hate that voice. It's so scary.
Acknowledged. Captain.
Hold on.
Find. What is the name of our ship?
You guys haven't come up with a name for it yet, so now's the time.
What's the name of our ship, guys?
Oh yeah, we never named the ship, did we?
No,
The Adventure Bros. No.
no, come on. What is the name of our ship,
That
guys?
that said, the Venture is kind of a cool name for a ship.
The
The
Ventura, I think, is what we originally
Ooh.
planned on.
Oh yeah,
Ventura?
Ventura.
I like that.
Venture,
I like
but
that
with an A.
Adventure.
I like that.
All right. We'll go with that for now.
Please look for the Ventura.
Searching. Vessel identified. Leaving wormhole. Approximately 3,421 light seconds.
Ooh, that means that they're closing in on my position.
It's like a Saturday night cartoon villain.
It's a
Oh,
good
Lord.
thing that I have my cloaking device on. I actually know what that is because I've watched lots of television.
I watched too much. While that's happening, Alex is just kind of sitting there in this lonesomeness now.
Captain,
The thing I have,
I have
planned
detected-
for you.
I have detected a civilization on the planets below.
Oh, have you? What is its technology level?
Pre-warp society.
Now, if I was
Mainly
a
in the
different-
industrial era.
Now, if I was in a different universe, I would be getting into a lot of trouble, but
The planet's surface does contain numerous numbers of steam-powered energy signatures, as well as crystalline essence signatures.
the
I'm
things
detecting
I
a
do-
signal from the surface. One that seems to be tapping into our communication satellites.
the things I can do to this planet. Wait, did you say Ascendil is tapping into the communications?
That is correct. It is on the eastern seaboard. I do not believe they'll be able to communicate with us, but I do believe that they are able to receive and listen to our signal communications, Captain.
Well, now, isn't that lovely?
Shall I open a channel
To whom?
to whoever is listening, Captain?
They will be able to answer us back. And I think it's going to be far more interesting if you open a channel to the ship that's coming towards us.
Attempting to
Yep.
hail the RSS Ventura. Meanwhile, on the ship,
Meanwhile, on the ship. What is that noise?
What is that noise? And it's annoying.
you just
I
see
hate
one of these
technology.
beeping little kind of like lights flashing on the comm
Lady
station.
Mary will wander over to the comm station. Okay. I know I'm supposed to hit a button.
Push the button.
It's that one. She's choosing a button, at random. That one.
All right,
I think
it comes up on the main viewer. You see Acererak.
flush
With
that.
with this smile that kind of goes on for like days.
It fills the whole screen.
Yeah, just.
He's like leaning into the camera, like.
Well, I mean, his picture is already frightening enough because he's a
Yeah.
lich,
Yeah,
and then
of
you
course.
have the smile without any lips, so it's just it's a really unsettling image.
Yes.
And he looks at all of you. Hello. Oh, I can see all of you over there, although you cannot see me.
Oh Jesus!
Clank just says to the screen, "Reveal yourself, or you will be destroyed."
I will shoot you.
I think you're putting the cart before the horse, my dear one. You have to be able to see me in order to shoot me out of the sky.
That can easily be done. He reaches over and pushes a button. He's gonna have to roll for this, because I think it's fair.
Yes, and it's disadvantaged because it's cloaked.
Yeah. Does a
Oh!
10 work?
Nope.
You just hear the computer goes. Eh. Clank looks over at the computer, just kind of slaps it with his fist, and he says, "I will need track to fix that."
Damn. Fleshhead just looks at this lichy boy named. What is it, Grandpa?
What is it, Grip?
Stand here, you would have to interrupt you. And I got my fun.
Damn it. I failed for it. Anyways, yeah. Basically, he looks at Acererak and just goes, "Stop hiding and just you stupid looking Saturday night cartoon enemy ripoff. You
Is
give
this
us
Alvin?
Alex now. Before no, it's the Jester Boy himself. He's real angry."
Oh,
Fleshhead.
you! Yes, I'd like to talk to you personally. And what he pulls out onto the view screen is that sword.
How did you find that?
Oh, it's very easy. Once I didn't have you weaklings trying to take me down, I found it. It's a rather nice one. Should I keep it?
That's my blade. And that is mine to own.
I also have your friend, and he leans down. This is Alex is actually out of counter shot. Leans down, picks up the cage with one hand,
What the? He's
And you
small.
see in a cage Alex.
Why is he small? What the? How did you... Alex?
So Alex, you have been now picked up, and now you're looking at a view screen, and you see all your friends on the other side of the view screen. What do you do?
He just kind of runs up to the cage and holds the bars, just staring at them with like help, like help me.
Help me!
Don't worry, we're coming to rescue you, ideally.
Ideally. Gotta put that
Do you
in.
say that in character or out of character?
Yeah, no, Beth says that in character.
How does Acererak respond?
Ideally, yes, you would have to rescue him. But
Oh, I think you're muted.
no, I'm not. I am
Oh,
not
no,
muted.
I'm sorry. It's me.
It's you.
But I have plans for this one. As I have plans for you. You have no doubt noticed that there is a planet just below me. Why don't you do a scan of it?
Who's going to be scanning the planet because Clink's currently busy navigating?
Beth will give it a shot.
Okay.
All right, roll an intelligence check.
He's good at intelligence. Not bad. 19.
All right, so the computer does say that there is a M-class world with an industrialized society pre-warp, and there are 2 moons orbiting the planet.
Okay, he'll put like a call out on screen of like the information, like in a little like picture in a picture beside Acererak.
Mhm.
And he'll say, yeah, I'm detecting civilization on this world.
Don't do anything with it. Let's just stop being stupid villain. This stuff confuses me.
Are you gonna just tamper with another world like you tampered with mine?
Roll an intimidate check.
Are you rolling an intimidate check on him?
Because I think you're kind of like, you're mad at this point. At least that's
He's
how...
being indignant. I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
I'll roll intimidate, but I don't expect to get much mileage out of this, for the record.
Okay, so you're rolling intimidate. I'm going to roll my wisdom. Or
Yep.
rather, roll at Acerek's wisdom. So go
Yep.
ahead.
Wow, I rolled high. I rolled a dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me check something.
I gotta admit though, Vess is probably coming off as more petulant than anything else.
Yep.
Actually, if I can amend what he said with that result, I'll say he says so you're gonna mess with this world like you messed with mine, huh? Because we can just stop you again.
Very good comeback. He's a little padding.
Well, considering he had a 32, he resisted your intimidation.
That's fair. No, I didn't expect that to get very far.
Yep.
just
Hey,
patting him on the back like, very good. Very good. Get out of here.
He looks at you and goes, "Was that an attempt to threaten me, little warlock?"
It was a promise, is what it was.
I just love how you say it. It's like, yeah, I'll show him.
Well then, there's one other person I see in there that is probably very, very angry at me. Lady Mary. Here I sit. I think the words of your world is, "Come at me." And Lady Mary, who's been listening to all of this, it's just been kind of quietly seething. Just she's like, "Don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up." Just kind of.
Just to keep in mind, you guys are about 500 light seconds out from your target, or what you think is your target.
Bullshit's just staring. Damn it. If you think you're better than us, why are you hiding from us? Bullshit just says while crossing his arms.
Well, as it happens, I still have your person here. I mean, Alex is such a good little dog.
Don't you... That is offensive in many ways. But, I'm losing my edge these days. Ah!
You know, Alex, I'm going to have so much fun playing with your mind. And
Don't you
with
touch him!
you.
The only person that's allowed to play with his mind is me. Wait, that came out wrong.
And he kind of does this with his other hand. Clink, since you're the one navigating.
Yeah.
I want you to roll me a dexterity check.
$14.
Yeah, Clink, you feel the whole ship. You know the ship is moving towards
Yep.
wherever Acererak is,
Mhm.
but you feel the whole ship kind of turbulence is the right word. Violent turbulence.
Inertial dampener is failing.
Yep.
Oh, that can't be... Oh, come on!
Suggest occupants inside the cabin please take their seats.
Anna's going, I never got out of my seat.
I think
Vest
someone...
returns to the seat.
Vest just like...
That's it.
The Vest
He-
got out of his seat, so please roll me a dexterity saving throw, Vest.
Old one's just like, what is happening now?
I only rolled a 12.
Yeah, you're going to get thrown.
Ah!
Violently, you're going to get thrown. And he smiles. Oh, look at the pain I've just caused.
You know, the fish is just like staring, just like, people like you frustrate me a lot.
Well, I mean, this one has such a delicious soul.
Don't touch his damn soul, he says, while like a bit of like dark smolder kind of goes around.
So why
Don't
not?
touch.
His soul will power so nicely something that I have brewing in another realm, as it were.
You touch his soul, you don't know what you're messing with.
Entering orbit.
You're not just messing with me, you're messing with a lot more.
The ship's now kind of like entering like a high orbit around the planet.
Are both ships in this high orbit at this point?
Yes, but one is hiding. We don't know where.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. Computer, is that transmission still listening in?
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. Apparently, the primitive people down on the planet below can hear our transmissions.
Meanwhile, on the ship, acknowledging the fact that yes, the transmission is being intercepted.
Oh.
Lady Mary is going, you touch this planet, and wrath is going to rain down on you at Acererak.
Also, now within Lady Mary's mind, pretty much, she can hear Dark Mare going, "You want me to do something now? Later." I've been vibing this whole time, just for you to know.
Yes, I know.
You have a nice mind, by the way.
I can just imagine, like, he's just, like, sitting on a
I
couch.
can just see Dark Matter just kind of walking into this room, picking up a book, going, "Oh, this is a nice book," putting it back down.
Grabbing a cup of popcorn and just, like, sitting on a couch casually, like he owns the place.
Yeah,
I can
it's
just see
really
the
well
Dark Matter
kept in
doing
here.
that.
It's really well kept in here, I'm not gonna lie. Most people's minds I've ventured are pretty messy.
I do try to keep a tiny mind. Now, this particular conversation is being not said.
In mind
Yeah,
space.
yeah. This is telepathic.
Your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, telepathic. We don't know where he is. The coward has cloaked himself.
Yes, I have noticed. Well, he could deny us visual access, but he cannot deny me soul access. He does have Alex with him. Well,
Yeah,
that is saying that if I can do anything about that.
true.
Hmm.
So Lady Mary comes out of this kind of 1,000-yard stare because she's been looking at Acererak. Yes, you do have Alex, but they have me, and I'm a lot more than you can handle. And Acererak kind of smiles and goes, "Only because I have this, a soul that you want. But what if the soul was no longer here?"
As he said, is that
Drag
Alex
just kinda
just looks at
snaps-
the camera with a freaked out look?
Track just snaps awake and just looks at the screen and says, "Who the?" Nearly screams, and then glares like menacingly, like in his dwarven kind of like werewolf form, and just like glares at the screen and says, "You do anything to our crew, and I'll make sure that I'll shove this battle axe so far up your." And he just reaches for his battle axe up, like at his, like leaning against his chair, that you won't
Oh.
even recognize your backside.
Drac. I'm so glad that you're awake.
He's gonna roll intimidate.
Okay.
Okay.
22.
Acererak is a little bit intimidated, but not much.
Okay.
He continues to smile, so it makes it really, really hard for Drac to
Yeah. Get a read.
get a read.
Yeah.
But he. Let's see how well you do with this.
Oh
He
no.
snaps his fingers. Alex,
Yeah?
you're in the cage. You are greeted by a great white light, and you're being.
What the?
At this
She's like,
point,
And
"Oh,
that's
no."
what you guys.
on the
and
main
that's what you
viewer,
guys
Drac
see.
just stands up and is about to scream at the monitor. But he's like in mid like getting up out of his seat as this is happening.
And Acererak calmly puts the cage back down.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Somewhere. He might have gone down to the planet.
What have you?
He might have gone somewhere else. It's going to be a conundrum. Have fun. And the screen turns off.
Son of a. Ah!
And Lady Mary goes, "Damn it! A few more minutes and we could have had him."
Captain,
Well-
I'm receiving a unusual radiation signal from the planet's surface. It's not common to this type of civilization. It's coming from
What do you
a
mean?
industrial warehouse of some kind.
Industrial warehouse.
A what?
Can you get a better scan of it?
Unfortunately, it seems to be analyzing. Yes, it is indeed shielded by something or some kind of far more advanced technology than the civilization can possess. We may need to go investigate. But I will advise at your discretion, Captain. He looks over to Drac. Drac just kind of looks over to Aya, because Aya is basically, this is her bailiwick. Because she's,
Okay,
currently
what was
still
that?
acting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Go
was
ahead.
listening to someone that I've heard before, and he sings wonderfully, and I just sorry.
Okay, so what do you need to know?
Okay, so what does Aya need to do?
She's right now in command, so because Drac hasn't assumed command from the point when he was conked out. So
Aya's first. Aya looks over at Drac. You want to take command back?
he says, "That's completely up to you, Captain."
Okay. The scan. This industrial warehouse. Can you do a more focused scan of it?
We need to get closer into orbit. Low orbit,
Right.
preferably.
Well, then let's drop to low orbit.
Felicia's just thinking, wait a minute. Didn't Alex have that crystal?
He did.
Hmm. At least, I believe that's the reason he probably didn't do anything too bad. But actually, okay, I don't know. He could have just teleported Alex. He could have done worse to Alex. But I imagine the crystal had to do something with Alex not dying, probably. Right?
Either that, or whatever Acererak did to Alex. We're going to have to find Alex at this point. He's no longer on that ship. Although Acererak still has your sword, and she looks over at Jester Boy.
Yeah.
What do we
He
want to
does have my
do?
sword.
We could take 2 away teams. One to try and board Acerak's vessel once we find it, and one to head down to the planet to see if Alex is there.
Well, with the sword thing,
I think with the sword thing, you and I need to go and see if this is a Lady Mary. I think you and I need to go on to once we find Acerek's ship. I think you and I need to go over there and get your sword thing back.
Drac just stands and says, "I can try and fix the tachyon emitter. It'll take some time, but
Well, right
once we
now,
get it
time-
operational, we'll
you'll
be able to find him." Correct.
Okay.
Meantime, some of us should go down to the planet and start looking.
I do not advise beaming down, maybe taking a shuttle. I did run an initial scan, and they do have what look like airships. Balloon ships, or something. I guess in the world, they call it steampunk?
Okay.
wait, steampunk. I feel like something's wrong. Me out of character. Wait a minute. Don't do it to me, please.
Yep. They do have some form of early radio. I can see if we can tap in to learn a little bit more about their civilization.
Wait a minute. What kind of early radio? This is.
This,
Lady Mary
like
saying
gramophones and stuff like that. We'd basically be listening. We wouldn't be able to actually communicate with them.
Nah. Like, kind of steampunk anyways. Like, they got any magic, or is it just basic steampunk?
And she walks. She walks off.
Mm-hmm.
To the communications
Yep.
area.
Mhm.
And she starts guys hear is a whole bunch of dit, 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 dit.
Wow.
You have absolutely no idea what she's doing.
Meanwhile, on the surface, a young woman, an inventor, who goes by the name of Anna, is sitting at her crystal radio set, listening to all this chatter, and her mouth is agape. She's like, what? I haven't been able to tap into this channel for decades. This could be a miracle. Another civilization out there? I must take this to the committee immediately. And she snatches up her radio and runs out of her laboratory. And then, right as she snatches up, you hear... And she stops. And she looks down at her radio and she says, how odd. I've never heard that kind of transmission before. Wonder what it means. Because obviously in this era, they don't know what that particular type of language is.
Right.
So it hasn't been developed yet.
Right. Okay.
That's so odd. It's on a repeating cycle. I definitely must take this to the committee and show them my findings. And she grabs her telescope, like her portable telescope, and heads out the door. And we cut back to the ship.
Well, I've put the message that I wanted to send on a loop. Hopefully they have the wherewithal to know what that means. Alright. You, Vess, you, Alduin, and Mage Hand. Leilano, whenever we see Leilano, will also be going down.
Yep.
And Ea, of course.
Drax stands up from his chair and says, remember, this is a pre-warp society. Any interference from them, with them, may compromise their developmental integrity. Keep that in mind when you're down there.
Don't get them too advanced. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, we know. But that says it's like he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't. He's just kind of like floating there. Like, anyways, I gotta go get my sword.
Lady Mary kind of looks at Drac and goes, I didn't think you had that in your society. Only I know that particular thing. And
well, I just want to play it on the safe side. I read something in the logs on this ship from leftover from when I cobbled this beautiful vessel together. Mentioned something about something called the Prime Directive. I don't know what it means, and I don't care. But apparently it seems like taking an error on the side of caution seems to be prudent in this matter.
Oswald's like, okay, I guess I have to go down. Hey, don't forget about me too, Mage Hand says.
Do we know what the locals look like?
They do look human. Very humanoid looking. Some of them have, like, long hair. Think of it like high elves, but without the pointy ears. There are, from what you can tell, based on your preliminary research, there are 2 caste systems. There's the upper echelon, which are called the empirics, and they seem to control the society, from like a noble kind of like wealthy standpoint. And then there's the lower caste called the smog, which are basically the working class, because they're steam workers, they're working in the industry, and they have little to no rights as people. They're just constantly worked to the bone to keep the civilization and society in check. And you can tell that this is a very dystopian society, just by your precursory analysis.
Okay, but at least we got a sense of
they
what
do have crystal power, so they are using essence to power their some of their machines, but they also use steam power and coal. But they don't have oil or anything like that, to your knowledge.
Vess is going to use alter self then.
Okay.
To make himself look like one of them, which probably isn't gonna work totally well because he's still like small sized.
You'll look like a child worker. Now, what are you
Okay, fair
looking like? Are you going to look like a noble, or are you going to look like a worker?
He's gonna try to look like a noble.
Okay.
It's gonna work. I know I'm not going with you guys, but you know. Last time I checked, sometimes going with the highest class is sometimes the lowest class move. Especially if you don't know anything about the highest class.
Well, okay, fine. I can. I mean, I'm only he's only changing what he looks like, so I don't know if like.
Yeah.
You
it's
could
not-
act wrong.
It's his face. Like he's still dressed like Vess is the thing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's still
wait,
dressed in his
Yeah.
beret or whatever you call that
Yeah.
little that hat and whatever.
Yeah.
Aya kind of looks at everyone and says, "Well, I can, I can also change what I look like. Not for very long, mind you, and I could only do it once per day.
Although it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Well,
We do have a replicator. Drag points to the the replicator on the wall.
That sounds unhealthy.
Also, Freddy down there, and at the sound of Freddy, Freddy rounds the corner and says, "Did someone ask for my services?"
We only started with the frick.
Oh God, no,
Hold on.
no.
Mage Hand's like,
This-
this says, we only said freh, and you immediately came out. We didn't even finish the sentence.
Both Aya and Lady Rody kind of look at Freddy and just kind of roll their eyes.
You could have said Fred, and you would still come out.
Drac looks at Freddy and says, "If anyone needs cosmetic surgery, we can definitely have our friend here whip you up a nice plastic look."
Oldman goes, but I like my scaly face. He says, while rubbing his face. Magic goes, you want to look like a sore thumb, or do you want to look like a slightly less sore thumb? Ow.
Well, Drac says, "We best make a decision before time runs out. I'll go prep the transporter. I think that's the safest way, and I can find a discreet location to beam you down."
I thought we weren't beaming down. I thought we were taking a shuttle.
Oh, that's right, yes. We do have a shuttle. He just, like, was about to walk to the transporter, spins around and walks to the cargo bay.
That just looks like an old one and just goes, here, take this. What is this? It's a thing. Just put the cloak on. Why? It will make you look different. What do you mean? It just looks like a normal cloak. It's the same thing like that loot. Points at the thunder loot. And it's a weird magical property thing. Now, don't ask where I got it. I had it on me. I don't need it, though. Just take it, damn it, and look normal. Okay, why do you have to yell at me? Because I want my sword, okay? Because you see, the sword is a little bound to me. If he touches the sword in any way, I'm going to get a little and hurt. Not too, it's not going to kill me, it's just going to hurt.
Alright, so, Drac is kind of, like, prepping the shuttle, getting everything ready. And, what is everyone else doing?
Well, Aya, as Aya has pointed out, I can change what I look like, but it's only going to last an hour.
Old one puts on what Fulshette gave him, and it makes him look relatively not like a. It's really weird because all of a sudden he looks from a dragon person to just being a person.
Does so Aya, because Aya's a tiefling, right?
Aya's
Yes.
Tiefling.
Could we? Is it practical to like put like a hood and a cloak and hide most of it and just get by with like
Yeah,
maybe a
I
bit of
mean,
makeup?
you'd have to disguise yourself as an industrial worker. Because a
That
lot
could-
of
I
them
would
wear
think that could work.
cloaks and stuff like that.
She can do that, but she does point out that she does have a means in a way to actually disguise herself, but
True,
it only lasts an hour.
Yeah, so maybe it's up to you what you want to do.
It might be. I think it might be good to do a conventional disguise for Aya, and then because I'm assuming you also have access to alter self. You can just Aya can keep that on reserve for like if she needs to quick change
Alter self.
Disguise self, I think is what you
or
meant.
disguise self. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, she can do that. Up to 4 times.
All right.
Vess is lucky. Like, yay, warlock. I can do it at will, but only on myself.
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Eee.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Aya kind of looks at everyone and goes, "Okay, I will get myself a cloak and cover myself up so that I don't look like, well, this, and then I'll be good. And if I have to change myself into somebody else, then that's what I can use
Magic.
the magic for."
Drac
But,
looks at everyone as they're boarding the shuttle and says, "Well, I don't know if we'll be able to get into their airspace, but we'll try."
And before...
Just you lot be careful, this is Aya. I mean, Acererak is very, very tricky, and he can do lots of mean and nasty things. We've seen him do this.
But before everyone leaves, Flechette goes, "Oh yeah, old one, do not let the cloak thing fall off of you, because if it falls off, your disguise will go away. Also, you may look a little shady with the cloak on, but that's fine. Because the cloak is still visible. It only makes his face and his hands all shady looking, so you can't really identify what he looks like."
Yep. And Drac is just like flipping switches and knobs and buttons and stuff like that as the show's starting to whir into life.
Flechette goes, "Okay, good luck, don't die."
As the door goes. on the
Dying is
shuttle.
bad.
Drac looks behind him and says, "Is everyone strapped in and ready to go?"
So who's coming with
Drac's
us?
flying. Clink's not coming down.
Vess will come along. Technically Gabrielle too, although she's like invisible.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who do we have in the shuttle?
Drac.
Going to the planet.
Drac,
Vess.
Vess,
Oldwin and Mage Hand.
Aya.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Where is Leilana at this point?
Leilana is actually, I think she's in sickbay.
Okay.
Because, I'm just going to put her there for now because,
Best
Right.
place.
Yep.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah. And then Flechette and Lady Mary have their own mission.
Yep. As the
Kind of the point.
shuttle bay doors open, you can see this kind of like, it's kind of an orangey, not a molten world, but it's kind of like a golden kind of brown planet with a little bit of lakes and water and stuff like that. And the shuttle just ticks up, moves out, and starts heading towards the eastern coast at high speed. And you see that there's a thunderstorm slowly approaching the eastern seaboard. And Drac looks at his readouts and he says, "I don't know if we'll be able to make it before that storm reaches here, so everyone just make sure that if anything happens, hold on tight," as he dips the nose down towards the surface. Says, "I do see a city down there."
What kind of city is it, this is Aya?
It seems like looks like a capital city. See that spire over there? He points. And the clouds are becoming more dense and darker.
Why is the cloud so dense and dark? Mage Hand goes, "I don't know, maybe nature."
One of the clouds flashes off to your left.
Oldwin stumbles a little bit. Stumbles in the
And you just see like one of these searchlights hit the ship from below, in the sky, from below on the surface, and it's just following you as the
I think we've been noticed. You think? Mage Hand says.
Oh Lord.
Drac says,
Drac?
"Stay calm. I think it's just a guidance light for landing." Not sure yet. I haven't fully determined. He's like flipping switches and knobs, and then the ship kind of shudders.
I mean,
the shuttle
they're
kinda
probably
shuddered.
friendly.
Probably friendly.
Probably friendly.
What if they're not? Mage Hand says we'll turn into
Everyone
mess.
roll me dexterity.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's dexterity saving throw, right?
Yes.
Dexterity save.
18.
All right.
Oh no. I rolled a 10, that's game.
All right. So you rolled an 18. What did A roll?
3.
3. Oof. So the ship bucks and bounces around violently, and you just see, like, because you rolled a 3, you hear ding 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 ding, kind of like small metallic objects pelting the inside of your ship.
That can't be good.
And then
What's
Drac looks out the window and
pelting our
says, "Shit,
What is it?
they're firing
What?
at us."
Ah!
And you just hear
Look
like
at us.
Gatling gun sounds off in the distance.
Mage Hand goes, "Hey, stop!" He says while poking. It's the hand phasing through the the wall, shaking, getting shot at, goes back inside.
The shuttle is going to proceed with evasive maneuvers, so I need to roll for that. It's a dexterity check. Thankfully, you have a nice shuttle, so 15. It's not good, but it's better than what I expected. The ship manages to do a barrel roll. You kind of just go,
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Waiting for it.
and
Sorry.
he finds a kind of like a patchy kind of like field up ahead and says, "There's what looks like a farm up ahead. I don't know if the owner's gonna like us landing on their crops, but."
Mage Hand goes, "Great,
And then you
great,
just
we're
see-
aliens, great."
We do
Off
a
to the
donut
side.
as we land, and it makes a crop circle.
you just hear like a blinking light, and you just see 2 flashing lights with like the little like flip switches for like engine fire, like on an airplane. And he says, "We've lost engine 1,
What do you
and
mean?
engine
we
2
lost
is no
engine
longer on
one?
fire."
Wait. We've lost engine 1, and engine 2 is no longer on fire? How did it get on fire in the first place?
Drag just like has a. Let's not talk about that.
Wait,
Let's
then
just be happy that it's not on fire anymore.
we may have not known it's on fire, but it's pretty nice that it isn't anymore.
Let's
And then
look
you
on the
just
bright
hear,
side.
you just hear over the PA system. Terrain. Pull up.
Mage Hand goes, "We
terrain,
know!"
Terrain.
Mage Hand says, "We'll
Oh,
Minimum.
punch
no,
the
nothing.
Minimums.
No.
400. 300.
Ah!
200.
Mage Hand punches the
Punch something!
console, but then you hear
Punch something!
Oldman recoil. Goes, "Ah! Why do you have to punch something metal?"
This will cast mage armor on himself just to refresh that.
100. 20. 30. Sorry, 30.
Punch.
40.
And
Mage Hand goes, "Stop!" He says, while punching some random button. and Oldman's
yeah, that's what it is doing too.
Thrusters kick in, and you just level out, and you're like above the crop field as you're coming in for like a pretty fast hard landing, but not like you're not going to be impact nose first. You're now skimming the surface of the crop field. And
Mage
you can
Hand
see a barn up ahead, like a large barn.
Oldman is desperately holding his right hand, just going, "Why did you have to punch it?"
And the computer's just beeping and says, "Overspeed.
Overspeed. Slow down. Punching
I
hard.
can't,
Says,
says Drac as he's like flipping switches and knobs and stuff like that.
He
And he says,
breaks the lever, like, "Slow down!"
and then Drac looks down at the parking brake and he says, "Oh, air brakes." He pulls them. And the ship just comes to, like, bucks forward, kind of bounces a little bit, and then comes skidding off to the side in a circle, and smoking coming from the engine, and then you just And the
be a
back
good
hatch just goes, kind of like just falls open. It doesn't even, the hydraulics don't even work at this point.
Mage Hand just goes, I think that was a pretty good landing. What do you guys think?
It could have been worse, certainly.
Old one just going, my hand hurts all over.
God.
It feels like I
Where,
metal.
so where are we, Drac?
He taps the dial, and the displays are completely out. Like, all the lights are out and stuff like that, and it's like there's no power to the ship. But then he looks up the main viewer, and anyone who is looking forward through the main cockpit window can roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. That's a dirty
7.
20.
Only 7.
All right. Is that Aya who rolled that?
Aya rolled the dirty 20, yes.
Okay. You see what looks like a light slowly approaching through the cornfield.
What's that? Old one just says. Mage Hand goes, I think that's a searchlight.
I think they're going to find us pretty darn quickly. I think we need to get out of this
We need to
thing.
do something, Mage Hand says.
Quick, everybody get your disguises on.
Okay. Old one goes, well, like, throwing on the cloak.
The
Please
lights,
don't make me too
the lights kind
50.
of like
Aya
walking
puts
back
on
and
her
forth,
cloak.
kind of like getting closer and closer. And you can see off distance a hooded figure. Kind of maybe height from this distance, you can't make it out, but maybe like 6 foot 1 inch, maybe 2 inch. And it definitely has a very slim figure, slimmer figure than normal. But it's hooded, so you can't make out any distinguishing features and stuff like that. And it is holding what looks like a kind of like a lantern or something. Not an oil lamp, but you know, like something with a crystal in it. And they just stop and look at the wreckage. And they call out,
That's what,
"Hello!" And a feminine voice kind of rings your ears. "Hello?"
I'll stall them. Vessel move to get out of the
Guys,
Stall them? Stall them with what?
my
Are you
enormous
from?
wit.
Are you the travelers from above?
Vespa will pop out, probably looking like a small boy inadvertently because of like.
Mage Hand's just like peeking out and
Oh,
Old
hello there. Do you need any assistance? I saw that your balloonless vessel has somehow landed in our crop field.
Yes, greetings, madam. I'm afraid our balloon has malfunctioned slightly.
Mage
She
Hand
just looks over at the shuttle, looks back to you, and it's like, I don't see any balloon on it. How
That's
does
the
this
problem.
thing fly?
Mage Hand keeps poking out, and Old one keeps dragging it back. Like, no, stop.
Well, it doesn't fly very well right now. We apologize for the inconvenience of landing on your property.
My uncle will be very pleased, maybe, to meet you. And you just hear often like this like farmhouse up on the hill. You just hear sea lights coming on, and you just hear shouting. It's like, Anna, Anna. And the woman really pulls off her hood and says, "My name is Anna," and she holds out a hand. "Welcome to Valcora. Although I don't think you are from here, from what I've been hearing on my crystal radio." And she holds up like this like broken kind of radio with like a bunch of crystal bits and wires dangling from it, and she says, "Unfortunately, this will no longer work." And she just kind of like puts it back in her satchel.
Oh, yes, but we're from down the coast.
Roll me a deception check.
This is something Vess is good at.
I'm gonna have to roll a insight check.
Works. Only a 16. I say only, but like he's got a good bonus to it.
She just kind of gives you like a cockeyed look, and she says, "Based on your trajectory and from where you were coming from, I highly doubt you were coming from the other coast." And she points behind her, because that's where the coast is.
Well, that explains why we got turned around.
In the background, the mage hand pokes out and grabs one of the bullets that's probably lodged inside
I
it.
know, yeah, the thing's got bullet holes in it.
And she kind of walks around the side of the vessel and kind of like looks in, and she says, "Are there more of you in there?"
Oh yes, we've yes.
Alduin's trying to hide Mage Hand a little bit, but Mage Hand's like, I will not be suppressed.
Aya is hiding underneath her cloak, and just kind of doing this underneath her cloak, going, "Okay, this is not bad."
Vess will actually lead her inside, which is like a
Around the
terrible
back,
idea.
around the back,
Yeah,
and
no, and it's a terrible idea, but he'll just do that.
she looks up and she's like lays a hand, like a kind of like a clammy kind of looking like cold hand on the metal of the ship, and she says, "This is an interesting alloy. I've never seen it before. Where did you come across this?" And she's kind of like peering at it like very inquisitively. And then she notices the bullet holes and she says, "Oh no, no." And she just kind of steps back and says, "I think we don't have very much time, whoever you are. We need to get you safe."
That can't be good. Although just as the Mage Hand just kind of pops out behind him. You think? Oh, go away! The Mage is like, I will not be surprised you get
Alright, at this point, the girl is going to stumble back and like fall on her haunches and kind of like skid back as she sees this floating hand of like a ghost hand.
Okay, how close is she to Aya?
Maybe like 20 feet? Because the ship's
Okay, Aya's
about
going to
25.
run forward and try to catch her hand. Yes, she's going to roll a dexterity.
Okay.
This is not going to go well.
Alright.
Mage, it's like, we're obviously not in a good sign. Why do you have to hide me too? Because you are a floating hand. I know I'm a floating hand. Am I proud of it?
That's a 7.
She's in like complete fear right now, and she says, what she's just like, all the words have just fallen out of her mouth and she cannot speak.
Okay,
And she's just
calm
pointing.
down. Calm down. Calm down. My hands are up like this.
And you just hear a voice say, "Anna, who are you and you hear, "By God." You just hear, "By God, Scots." As this, you see a man approaching in full military armor, full military like garb, and he has a shotgun or some kind of steam-powered rifle, and he's pointing it at the ship, and he says, "By God, Scots," and then he lowers the rifle down, and he says, "Anna, back up."
No.
Anna is like completely
We mean
like.
you no harm. We mean you no harm.
Mage Hand is just
The man says.
You've done enough damage already.
The man says, "Where did you come from?"
Aya will come out, hands raised, still underneath her cloak. She's not going to reveal herself.
Yeah.
We mean you no harm. Our ship is broken. We need some help to fix it. We mean you no harm. Can I roll a persuasion?
Sure. It's going to be contested, though.
I know.
Aldo's gonna try and do something that he hasn't done to Mage Hand in a while.
Oh, goody.
But basically, I'm going to try and roll to see if Alduin can basically undeploy Mage Hand temporarily.
Okay.
Okay. That's gonna be funny.
Because Mage Hand is a spell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was yours?
You need to beat a 21.
I had a 22.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. He kind of like looks at you and says, "Anna, who are these people?" Anna, at this point, manages to kind of like backpedal a little bit, and she says, Papa, I don't. All I know is that they came from," and she points to the sky.
But
We did come from the sky. We mean you no harm.
Big question. What do I need? What does Aldwin and Mage Hand need a roll to contest of Aldwin trying to undeploy Mage Hand?
Intelligence
think-
check, or
Oh,
no,
Either
wisdom
that
check,
or Arcana.
Arcana.
Yeah. Yeah, Arcana.
Arcana, where is that? There it is. I found it. And it is
So-
a +3 for me. Nice.
Okay.
1, 3 for Aldwin. Oh no, Aldwin's gonna fail this one unless Mage Hand rolls lower.
Mhm.
Please roll lower than a 9. No, Mage Hand succeeded.
Mage
What
Hand
the
just
fuck?
Mage Hand's just like feels a tug of energy on him, and he's like, how does he react?
Boy, did you like Mage Hand's like, boy, you did not just try to undeploy me.
And the man just looks at the floating
Mage-
apparition and says,
Aldwin.
"What is that?" He points.
Just, we can explain that. Just please put down that, and she points very nervously to the gun.
Anna at this point like has fully backpedaled, runs up to his dad, snatches the steam rifle out of his hand and just tosses it to the ground, and says, "Dad, Papa, that's enough." And the father just like has a mouth open, kind of like look, and he's like, "Anna, whatever you're dealing with, I think it's way above you. But I will let your friends stay for one night. And then they need to find their own shelter."
Aldwin's like, ah, jeez. And Mage Hand's just like, I will not be hidden.
Meanwhile,
It's very generous of you.
Meanwhile, off in the distance, you can see like large ships rising from the city, with searchlights combing the suburbs.
I think we need to get out of here now.
Aldwin looks and goes, that's okay. That is very not good. Mage Hand's like, finally, you're not saying you can't. That can't be good. It is not good.
Can the shuttle move under its own power?
No.
Is it...
Drac looks at the
Okay.
controls and he says, "Unfortunately, she's not going to be moving anytime soon, unless I can get your help." And she looks over to the girl and the husband, the father or the uncle, whatever you want to call it. And she says, "I have some tools in the shed that might be able to help get your balloon back on operation and airborne, but I've never dealt with," and she looks at the controls and says, "a ship such as unique as this." And
Well, first we need to get out of the line of sight of those searchlights.
yep.
Could we move it to the barn? Would you be okay with that?
Papa, can you
wait.
go get the ox and the mule and bring them down here for me and bring the harnesses? And the uncle says, "Very well. Follow me." And he walks you up kind of like towards a path towards the farmhouse.
Okay. Let's take this slow. Mage Hand, if you ever do that again, I will make sure that your magic will never work ever. Do I make myself clear?
No reason to be so.
Anna's walking
about
beside
that.
you and she says,
Oh.
"Magic? What is... Do you mean essence?"
Mage Hand just goes with the hand flat, like moving side to side. Like,
Yeah, like this. Yeah. And actually, Aya kind of does that too. Yeah.
kind
Is it
of.
power? And she like looks up at Mage Hand and she says, "Is it some form of trickery, or is it like an apparition? Is it projection?" And she like kind of
You
like
would
poking
have to
Mage
ask-
Hand.
You
Man-
would have to ask that one's master, and that one is, and she points to Alduin.
Aldwin's like, hi. Mage Hand's like, I'm kind of attached to him. I can do this. He says, while punching the ceiling, and Aldwin receiving with a, why? For example. My hand.
So, you guys are not out inside. You're outside, like walking up.
We're
So
outside.
yeah.
We're still outside. Which
Yeah,
is-
so,
oh boy.
Some sort of hard object, and Aldwin recoils.
picks up a rock and drops it on a foot or something.
So-
Like that.
And And Alden goes, holding his right hand, like, oh, Jesus, why did it have to be the right hand? Why did you have to form as the right hand? I'm not even good with the right hand, I'm good with the left hand. Well, that means I can punish it more. What do you mean?
Anna kind of giggles. And she says,
Are you two going to argue all the way back to the farmhouse?
No, I
you
don't
come up to
think
the
so.
farmhouse, and there's kind of like like the little steps, like an old kind of like farmhouse would be. And the uncle unlocks the door, sets down the rifle on the kind of like leaning up against the door, and he says, welcome. What are your names? As he kind of sits down at the dining table and kind of just pours himself
Okay,
a cup of coffee.
Since your daughter
Anna, yes.
kind of sussed out where we came from, I guess it wouldn't harm
Where
me
do you
to
come
this.
from? As he sets down the pot and takes a
And,
small
and
swig.
as he's setting down the pot, Aya takes the hood.
Eldon goes, you think that's a good idea? Before she does it, Eldon goes, you think that's a good idea?
She flips it back. She doesn't even listen to Alden.
Eldon just goes, okay, I
And
guess we're doing face
you get
reveals.
a full mouthful of coffee to the face.
Mage Hand goes, ah!
And Anna walks in right as her uncle does this, and she says, "Papa," and then she looks at Aya and says, "You're definitely not from around here, are you?"
No.
No, we're not.
As she
and
just
we're
slowly backs
looking-
up and closes the door and turns the latch to locked.
That's full cast prestidigitation to clean up the coffee.
And it just goes back to the mouth of the guy, and he's like, and he's just
All
coughing,
right.
and he says, "Okay," and he's just kind of like wobbling side to side a little bit. Like-
Mage Hand's like, if you couldn't
Why?
tell, we're very not from here. I'm... What-
Okay. Okay.
And-
My name is Aya, and you're right. I'm not from here. These are my companions. This is Vess, and she points to Vess.
Your
Dr. Vess.
child? Your children?
Not a child.
Mage goes, if you couldn't tell, we're kind of... Eldon's like, shush. No. If we're doing introductions, and we're showing her what we actually look like, well, I look exactly how I look, but...
And the uncle says, kind of just nods slowly, as he's like eyeing like Aya from head to foot
Right.
over the table.
Okay. You two are the only ones that are going to know what I actually look like, because as we've just discovered that this is very unsettling.
Yes, the council probably won't be very pleased of your presence here.
Probably not.
And
Yeah, 'cause
unfortunately,
I
I used to work for the council. And he looks over at Anna, and Anna says, "Papa, now is not the time for that."
Wait.
says-
What? Wait, what?
She says, "Pops used to work for the council, but then when I took my findings about what I assume is connected to you guys to them, they threw both me and my papa out and have relegated us to the lower caste."
Alden goes, was this a recent thing?
It happened
Sounds
about
like it.
maybe 2 hours ago, Anna says.
Oh, very recent. Okay, sorry about that, I guess.
She says, "It's not your fault.
Okay.
You couldn't have helped it."
Mage Hand's like, okay, time for you to reveal yourself. And Alden goes, I am much bigger than everyone here. I'm probably a lot more threatening, even if I'm the least threatening person.
And
Mage goes, you're
Anna
not threatening to
says,
me. You're used to me.
Well,
Anna
now,
says-
Anna,
"Yeah."
as I said, I'm Ed. This is Dr. Vess. Those two back there, one
Holy.
is named Aldwin, the other one is Mage Hand. And yes, that is exactly what it sounds like. And she gives a really hard look at Mage Hand.
Mage Hand just kind of turns to you and goes, what?
You know, if you had
Okay.
let yourself be dissipated, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Well, you know, I haven't been dissipated in a while, and I don't think I appreciate that very much without my permission.
And they all roll her eyes.
Anna
As
I
says.
mean,
you,
Anna
we
says.
could have disguised him and gotten him like a glove or something, I guess.
Anna says, okay. So, you guys are obviously not from here.
Holden's still wearing the
Your
high
ship,
vis.
or your balloon, whatever you want to call that thing out there, she gestures out the window, is obviously broken. You want us to fix it. And
well, help fix it. Drac
help
is,
fix it. Who,
yeah, Drac is many things.
and she looks over at the kind of wolf fuzzy guy and he says, "Why does this guy have a lot of hair?" And Drac just says, "Don't ask."
Really, don't ask. We're actually here to
Oh,
try
I'm
to
sorry.
find somebody. There's more than one ship up there, as I'm sure you probably already know, right?
And she pulls out like her paper and like she runs over to like a cupboard, opens rummaging through the contents of the drawer, pulls out an old like steno pad, and holds it up and says, "Yes, I wrote down exactly what I heard," and it's line by line by line of what she could make it out, and then at the very end she has the ... thing, and she says she points to the last line. And she
Okay.
says, "I don't know what this text is, but I heard it over the radio."
So could you identify the two parties that were talking?
Obviously, I think you guys were the something about, and she skims through the notes, flipping page to page over, and she says something about the Ventura. Is that your?
Oh.
Is the Ventura out there? And she points out the window, like to the ship in the field.
No, not that.
I look over at Drac.
And Drac
All
just
of your
shrugs his
go-karts.
shoulders, and he says, "It's part of the Ventura.
Yeah, but the actual winter is bigger.
Bigger? You mean like a Goliath class ship?
It can carry a few people, although it goes.
It must have a very big balloon."
Oh, very big. Very big. Very big. She is lying.
Mage Hand's about to say something, but then Alden looks at Mage Hand and Mage Hand is slowly
She's not going to question that one because she's like,
Okay.
you know, her mind's pretty much blown at this point.
Rattled already? Yeah.
Yes.
Rattled already. Okay. I'm going to put back up my hood.
You just hear a low rumble off in the distance, kind of like a low whoop, like helicopter kind of sound, but not a helicopter, but like a airships flying in low over the field. And there's a searchlight just combing the field. And
Alden goes, huh, that can't be good.
and there's a searchlight just combing the outer fields, not the field that you crashed in yet. And they say, "We need to get that ship moved before they find it." Anna says, "I agree, Pops. You stay in here. We'll go deal with your craft." And they head out the door,
Right.
leaving you inside the house to kind of explore and stuff.
Cool. Is there any chance we could take like a quick 5-minute break?
Sure, we can cut to
Soon.
break.
I need to. My cat's getting restless, and I really need to feed
All right.
him.
Well, while the party is kind of like, you know, just casually looking around the house at photos and various knickknacks and stuff like that, this is where we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are going to jump right back into it. So, without further ado, this is Realms of Awakenescence, Season 7, Episode 7, Dynamo.
This Connor doesn't take a fucking essay to say
Okay, so where we last left off, the party was in the house looking around at, like, all the knickknacks and stuff in this farmhouse. While the, Anna and her uncle go and, deal with trying to move your ship thing. So, what are you guys doing inside the house? This is kind of like you're kind of,
So Anna and the
Uncle.
dad have gone out.
yes.
I thought it was the dad.
No. They both decide to go out because they saw the searchlights. So,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just us in the farmhouse room.
Correct, yes.
Mage hand goes, well, that went great.
Well.
This will fall back on his like older instincts and case the joint a little bit.
Alright.
Yes, I can see that.
What are you looking for? What do you want to... What room do you want to case? The kitchen, the living room, the upstairs? Because it's a two-story farmhouse.
Is there in the like living room on the first floor? Is there? He's gonna look for like correspondence, so like letters, stuff that gives an indication of what they might be about.
There,
written stuff.
there is a hearth. There's no correspondence, at least out in the open. But if you'd like to roll a investigation check,
I'll roll investigation and like open a few drawers.
sure.
Okay.
Lovely house guests we have today.
Yeah, no, right. Never leave the kobold alone. 16.
Oh, Lord.
16. You open one of the drawers where Anna was kind of fumbling around. That's kind of left cracked open, but she closed it slightly. You find a envelope with a like a vanilla kind of like coffee stained envelope with a string kind of wrapped around it. One of those like, messenger kind of large envelopes. And
Okay, yeah.
stamped on the front is a big red box with the word classified on it.
He will turn it over and start unwinding the string.
These words can't stop me. I can't read.
He's going to, so you pull out like a very thick binder of kind of like paper, and it's do you want to like kind of skim through it, or do you want me to give
Yeah,
you...
he's just gonna skim through it because he intends to
Okay.
like put this all back the way he
Yeah.
found it. So
All right, so you skim through it, and you see schematics of like some kind of what looks like a war droid or some kind of machine that looks like a humanoid kind of like automaton. And strapped to it is like a gun kind of thing on its arms. But the gun doesn't look like it's part of the robot. It looks like it's cobbled together from various parts. And it says on the top heading of all these pages, Project Dynamo.
okay.
And it mentions stuff about, like a civil war, like a union uprising and stuff like that. Well, not union uprising, but worker uprising. And these things are basically being built somewhere and housed somewhere. It doesn't give a very good explanation of like where.
Okay.
But
and the implication is that this is being done by the council, right? Because that's what they
correct,
said
yes.
they were part of.
Yeah.
Not that Bess knows who that is yet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It
Okay.
has a lot of
I-
signatures and stuff like that about the council, and and then there's one signature that's written on there that seems to be at the very bottom of like all these pages, like the final signature, and it's kind of like a very scribbled cursive, but you can make out a D and a V in this kind of like signature.
okay, that's the best I can do with it.
Mhm. Yeah.
DV.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think that he'll feel like he's spent about as much time as he can afford doing that, and he'll repackage it up, try to put it exactly the way he found it, and put it back in the drawer.
All right. And what else is everyone doing? Like as they're kind of casing the joint.
Well,
There's some
it's not
photographs on the
exactly-
hearth. I'm just giving
Yeah,
you ideas of
and-
what's around.
yeah, Anne's not exactly casing the joint because She
Yeah.
thinks it's rude.
Yeah, that's creepy.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
She's going to sit there and she is going to. Oh, does she have it? Actually, she does. She knows what Alex looks like.
Hmm.
She is going to try to message Alex.
Okay.
Alex! Call him on the phone. The
No,
telephone.
she actually has this particular spell called message.
Yep.
It is a cantrip.
Yep. All right. So,
Well, no. Oh, I can't do that because he's not within 120 feet. Damn.
correct.
Never mind.
I was just about to say he's definitely not nearby.
He's definitely not nearby.
All right.
Where is he? I need to know.
She starts to sit down and think about if she can actually, he's got to be here somewhere, and then realizes he's nowhere near her.
Old one just goes, hi, what you thinking about?
Well, I thought maybe I could communicate with Alex because I've seen him, but he's not near us.
I could try scrying for him at some point. Vessel says he's like flipping through the papers.
What did you find over there?
Well, some documents marked classified.
You
Some
did not look
schematic-
at them, right?
You went and found some Vess, and Aya gets up and kind of trots over. Vess looks down.
Well, I can put them back. I just thought it would be a good idea if we.
As he's still holding the papers in his hand, you see that like what looks like a very detailed drawing of what looks like an automaton of some kind, and an attachment
the
that's kind of
shape
blown up. Humanoid.
Yeah, what? A humanoid automaton?
Yeah. Hmm. And it's like a schematic drawing of like measurements and like various parts go here, and it's written in like very kind of rushed scribbly language, not very detailed. Like this was hand drawn schematics.
Right. Okay. So I just rolled my intelligence check.
Mhm.
I had a 13.
All right, what part of the schematic are you specifically looking for, or looking at?
Well, she's looking at to see if this automaton might have is it capable for war?
It is definitely it's definitely built for war. Yes.
Okay. Like it has a weapon. That's.
It definitely designates a weapon on the left arm. But the weapon doesn't look like it's part of the robot, or this automaton thing. It looks like it's
Vess?
retrieved from elsewhere.
That's an automaton. And it's a war automaton. These people are preparing for war.
There's a knock on the door.
Ah!
Right, put it back, put it back.
He ties up a little string, puts it back in the drawer.
The door opens and the uncle walks in and says, "I have some good news and bad news."
What is the good news?
No, let's get the bad news first.
Oh, bad news? Okay, bad news.
Bad news is we can't move your vessel. The good news is we managed to find Anna here managed to find, she kind of ducks in underneath you and says, managed to kind of distract the search convoy from finding your vessel.
Oh.
Okay.
And Anna pipes up and says, "Yeah, we just got a very large tarp and threw it over it, and no one will be the worse for wear. All they could think is that it's a giant tractor just left out on the field."
Oh.
Let's hope that
Let's hope they don't get.
works.
Let's hope they don't get nosy.
And she
Yeah, that-
says, looks at the uncle and says, "Pops, do you think they'll come after us?" And Pops just nods and says, "Eventually, honey, they will, yes."
Oh, lovely. Just what I needed. I didn't need to involve the locals in this. Okay.
Agent goes, that's
And Pop says, "Now, Anna, I need you to go upstairs and prep the rooms for these fine people." He just kind of like surveys the entire like collection of various, because he's still kind of a little bit on edge about the various. They don't look like you, stuff like that, but whatever.
Alduin still has the cloak that's concealing what he actually really is.
And he says, "Well, feel free to make yourself at home, and what ours is yours." And he says, "We just ask that you please keep out of the drawers."
Will do. That smiles.
Yeah, as you just slowly elbow that drawer
I know,
closed just a little bit more.
Yeah,
It kind of goes oof. Okay.
And he says, "Well, I'm gonna head to."
Ale looks at the uncle and goes, "Are you preparing for war?"
Where did you hear that from? As he kind of like goes over to the kitchen, starts scrubbing some dishes.
Well, I mean, it's not. I can understand people being curious about a ship being put down, but considering that the ship was being shot at before we sat down into your lovely.
You are being. He kind of drops the plates into the sink and says, "Who was shooting at you?"
Look at Drac. Do you know who was shooting at us?
I do not know. All I know is it coming from the city. At that, the uncle kind of like lets go of the plate, drops the sponge into the sink, and says, "God damn it! Those
The
the committee." And he just kind of like is pacing back and forth, like fists clenched and stuff like that. And he says, "I told them not to interfere with Project Dynamo."
What is Project Dynamo?
Something that is far worse than you ending up here. He says they plan on, in the next 3 days, deploying Project Dynamo. It's
how bad is this project?
imagine he sits down and just kind of like puts his hands in his head and he says, "Imagine a war automaton built solely for the purpose of human eradication.
Why would you want something like that?
Why?
Committee is
Fallacy.
The committee is hell bent on moving past the industrial era into an era of full automation."
Automation. That is a pretty advanced thing, but not many people really can.
They believe
Do-
that the human element is weak and therefore must be removed and replaced with a machine.
Machine.
Oh, so when you say removing like a humanity, you mean like all of the organic sentience on this world?
Everyone except the council. The council
well,
would
of
be
course they'd make him-
control.
Hell. Okay.
Right.
Well, if you make a machine that's built to kill every human, wouldn't that also kill yourself, even if you
I
don't want?
agree, says the uncle. And he says,
Ah!
"I agree," says the uncle, and he says, "That's why I've been trying to convince Damien and his compatriots to call off Project Dynamo.
But
Unfortunately-
who are you going to war against?
People like us now."
I missed
Gestures.
all of that because I was being talked
Okay.
to by my family.
He was mentioning Project Dynamo and like how he and his daughter are basically now considered the lower caste. They've been downgraded to lower caste because of their findings and their whatever. And so he's going onto the story of like my daughter told them about you, and now they think that you're a threat, and they're on the hunt for you, and they're
Why would we be a
accelerating
threat?
Project Dynamo because they believe that your presence here could disrupt their plans. And he says, "I don't know everything, but all I know is that Project Dynamo is definitely not from here."
I was gonna say something about this rings.
Something feels placed. Like there's
Well,
a second hand in
I
the situation.
look over at Vess. like that Snap did more than take our friend away.
You think someone did like an over acceleration of technology?
No, I think a gift.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
never mind. Our old friend we've noticed he's got a motivation for removing life from worlds,
Yeah,
one way or another.
it's the least direct way he's ever done it,
Anna,
though.
Anna comes down the stairs and says, Dad, I think you might want to come look at this. And he kind of looks up and he says, what is it, Anna? And she's holding what looks like a crude metallic object in her hand that kind of looks like a coiled kind of thing. And she says, I found this in the fields outside. I think it might be related to Dynamo.
Aya will get up and walk over and look at the coil.
Roll me an investigation check.
Yeah, I kind of figured you might say that.
Mm-hmm.
Investigation? Oh, come on!
Yep. Sorry.
Gosh darn it. Investigation is not her forte. She's really good at persuading people.
Mm-hmm.
Alden's got a +3 for investigation.
Although, that's actually...
Unfortunately, I won't let you assist on this because A is holding the object.
Okay,
Oh.
so that is an 18. I actually rolled pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely seen this somewhere, definitely on Drax's ship. But you can't lay a finger on exactly what it is or where it came from. All you know is it is very, very dangerous. What you're holding in your hand is extremely dangerous.
I turn around and I look at Drac and I've seen this on your ship.
Drac walks over and says, no, just... He picks it up and sets it down on the table and says, kind of with like a heavy hand, and says, we shouldn't even be touching this technology. It is very dangerous. And he kind of leans into you.
What is it?
And then he turns and leans in on the uncle and kind of growls and says, where did you get that?
Okay, Alden goes, okay, calm down.
And the uncle kind of just like puts his hands up, it's like, okay. I don't know where that came from, but I do know what it might be. He says, Anna said that you guys came from above. And I think that, he points to the object on the table, also came from up there. And Drac just kind of snarls and says, no kidding. Where did you get it? Who is supplying you with this technology? The committee? He snarls again. And, the man shakes his head. Then who? And he kind of like is picking up the poor man by his collar and kind of like holding him.
Hey, Mage Hand goes, hey.
Drac.
No, Mage Hand and Alden go, hey.
Mage Hand is about to enter like a rage right now.
Can Vess attempt to identify it like with Arcana?
Sure.
Or well, detect magic too. I can just cast it and detect magic. I'm gonna give it a magic scan.
Okay. You actually have your little tricorder things if you want to use them.
Okay, so
Sure.
while you're doing that, Vess, Aya is actually going to stand up and put a hand on Drac and whisper to his ear, put him down. It might not be his fault.
He sets him down slowly, but still kind of like his feet are like, he's still holding him. He says, why do you have... Alright, Vess, roll.
I rolled a 23.
Yay!
You had definitely... I'm gonna actually direct message you.
Okay.
Because all you can see is this up on the screen on your thing.
Okay. Oh, and Vess knows what that is, right?
Yes.
What they are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh dear! No, you do not want to be messing with this.
What is an oh no?
It's ooh.
It is at this point...
Ao will turn around, cock an eyebrow to Vess.
I've really only heard about how bad these are, but you guys do not want to be messing with this.
And
What? is it?
Well, imagine. All right, I want you to imagine all of the hatred for life that you've seen Acererak exude,
Uh-huh.
and put it in a trash can with a gun attached to it.
That can't be good, Oldwood just says. That can't be good at all.
No, it's not.
The
A
player
trash
knows
can
what it
thing.
is. The character's sitting there, again, cocking an eyebrow, going, what?
At this point just says, Dalek tech. Where
What?
did you
Is
get
Me.
Dalek
No one-
technology?
Me.
What is a Dalek, says, Anne. Remember she did
Daleks are, think of Acererak, but 10 times worse, hell-bent on the eradication and destruction of anything human that has no emotion. Downright hates everything and anything except its own kind, as willing to destroy the universe in a conquest to do that, just that.
That
Right.
doesn't sound good. But, like, Dalek tech, he does, like, a quote-unquote, sounds really bad. What the hell is it attached to? A Dalek? What does that look like? I know.
Drac
This-
just
like I
kind of
said,
like
Rolling
says,
trash can.
A rolling
trash can
What?
on wheels that flies.
You're not telling me a
Oh, it flies too?
Mage Hand goes, you're not
Yes.
telling me that a trash can with a gun is what we're afraid of. Or at least a part of this, of what we're afraid of.
If Lady Mary was here, she'd probably be able to explain it better and be even more horrified.
Yeah.
And Drac just
Can we,
picks.
can we finally swap
picks-
other characters that are separate?
Sure.
But no, you can continue though.
Drac
I'm just
picks
one.
up the obviously the Dalek repulsor, or whatever you want to call it, and well, it's the thing on the Dalek that basically exterminates people.
It's the exterminate
Oh, okay.
part. It's the
Yeah.
exterminate.
Yeah. That's out of character knowledge, but he basically
Yeah.
picks it up and kind of turns it over and says, "Unfortunately, this one's been deactivated. Thankfully."
How bad is that? It looks like a gun. How bad is that gun blast?
He kind of picks it up and kind of like tinkers with it, and he says, "Do you mind if I go out back?" And the uncle just kind of like, he drops the uncle like onto the floor, and he just kind of like, the uncle kind of like gets up and brushes himself off and says, just with a shaky finger, just like points to the back door. He says, "Thank you," and Drac just proceeds out the back door,
Don't shoot anyone
slamming
with
it
it.
shut.
So we'll go follow him. I'm going to make sure that these two are all right. Someone go follow him.
Anna just is like looking at his uncle, and like her hands on her hips, and just like, "I want answers, and I want them now."
I want answers. I want now.
This will go with Drac.
I want my cash money now.
Yep, Drac just kind of goes outside, looks at the nearest object, which unfortunately is a cow,
No, don't shoot the cow.
and he says,
Old thing's kind of
he
one
just
thing.
flips the switch and it goes, lights up.
Old one's like, what are you gonna do with the gun and the cow?
Demonstrate
Did
how
also follow-
deadly this thing is.
Don't shoot the cow. Don't. Why are you gonna shoot a cow? What did the cow do?
Would you want me to shoot you? And he turns the weapon and points it at you.
Is that a threat?
How about you show us on this flower? And he points like in the field.
It's alive.
He says, "Fine." He pulls the trigger, and the flower is completely like eradicated. There's like a scorch mark, like about 10 feet by 10 feet,
What the
Whoa.
hell?
and a small little
Where's it?
indentation where the flower once stood. And
Mage
anything
hand
around,
says,
anything,
"What have you done?"
and the flat, like the grass around it, just kind of wilts.
You literally exterminated that off the planet.
Exactly.
Gone.
That's what this does, and he powers it down and drops it on the ground and says, "Frankly, I think these things are disgraceful."
Should we
Kicks it.
destroy it?
Unfortunately,
Well,
we
even-
do need it to figure out how it's been attached to whatever that automaton thing is, the Project Dynamo thing. If I
We
can
gotta
get my
keep-
hands on a dynamo, I'll be able to disassemble it and figure out how to reverse engineer it so that it doesn't kill people.
So on the inside,
Meanwhile,
Aya is inside and goes, okay. You said that you found this where?
It. Anna says, I found it upstairs in my uncle's room, in that old chest under your bed.
Okay, so where did you find it? She turns and looks at the uncle.
I was told to bring it to Damien Voss at headquarters in the city. He's like
Did
very
you?
shakily. No, I knew it was too dangerous, and its potential destruction was too great for one man such as Damien to be wielding. So I decided to keep it under lock and key and try and
Alright.
reverse engineer it to make it safer, or completely figure out how to. And he's just rambling on at this point about how to his idea of sabotaging the
But
dynamos.
But it doesn't tell me where you found it.
I was given
Just
it
appear?
by a lab technician at Dynamo Dynamics Incorporated. Or Dynamo Dynamo Industries.
What did this technician look like?
He had kind of very large, maybe 230 pounds, glasses, big face, bald, white hair, tufts on the side, mustache white, and very angry looking. Like, he always had a frown on his face. And he also wore a uniform like mine. And he points to his uniform, and very militaristic.
Alright. Guess we'd have to go and talk to him and find out where he got it from.
I don't think you'll be able to just make an appointment with Mr. Voss or his associates. They tend to keep that place under lock and key, and only people who are part of the committee's inner circle are permitted in that facility. I used to be one of the lucky few. He looks at his uniform and says, "You're not suggesting..." Anna just slowly nods from behind.
Actually, now we had detected a strange thing coming from a industrial warehouse, right?
Yes.
Before we touched down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And looks at the two of them. As we were landing, we detected a what the hell was that?
Oh, that was my phone. Sorry.
Yep.
I usually try to
Wow.
further away.
Yep.
We detected a unusual signal coming from one of your from a warehouse.
That could
inside
be
the
where
city.
they're storing the rest of the dynamos, he says. But we have many locations where we store them, and they rotate every so often. Because they don't want the rebels to stumble upon the project.
The dynamos
Yes.
and destroy them. Well,
Correct.
I mean, that's smart for them to move those things around,
Mhm.
but it doesn't do us any good.
I do have a list of where they might be transitioning them to. I used to keep logs. I used to be one of the senior administrators back when I was working at...
Where were they before you got kicked off the?
They were kept
sorry.
in a warehouse near the docks on the west end of the city. Near the...
And where were they being moved to? Because I'm assuming before they kicked you off, they gave you the next location, right?
Yes, but they could change that in a heartbeat. He says they're moving them further into the capital. In the heart of the capital.
I mean, it's a breadcrumb, as it were.
That is true, yes. He says,
I mean, if we don't find them there, I'm assuming you have other places where they could be written down, correct?
yes, unless they've moved it to a location that I'm not aware of. I don't know if they'd do that unless it was the utmost importance to keep the dynamos safeguarded before they are deployed in 3 days.
Well, let's see if we can find them in the... Did we see where the unusual energy was?
It was kind of like, it was definitely on the harbor end, so they definitely haven't moved it from the harbor, from what you can tell. That's out of character knowledge.
Okay.
So, but that could just be one of many.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why
Yeah.
why I'm asking that is that we would have known that before we landed.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not out of character knowledge.
That is in character knowledge. Yes. So, but you don't know if
Okay,
that's just
so-
the whole pot, or multiple pots out there.
Okay, so let's go to the one at the docks, and if we don't find everything we need there, then we go to the next one on your
Good idea,
list.
he says.
See if we can.
But it's
find it
late,
there.
and I think we need
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah.
He yawns.
Oh,
Old
and I
one
am
eventually
getting
walks in.
I've got such a head. So what did the piece do, Drac?
He picks up a pile of dirt and just kind of drops it on, kind of sprinkles it on the coffee table as he walks by.
On
and
the
says,
coffee table, Mage Hand says. No! Bad Drac. Moody Drac.
Okay, maybe I should ask someone other than Drac. And looks to Vess. What did it do?
It blew up a flower. Although probably it could have done more than that.
It
I mean-
vaporized it.
Yeah, we were gonna aim it at a cow, but we thought better of that.
And
Oh, that's good.
the man says, "You would have killed Betty."
All of a sudden, Old one says, I retorted. I didn't want him to do it. I said, don't shoot the cow.
And
I
we
was
didn't.
reasoning.
Well, at least Betty's okay. He says as he
Alden-
looks down, and he says, he's kind of just twiddling his thumbs and his fingers, kind of nervously, he's in a lot
I
of
will.
doo-doo.
I will say that I think there was a radiation effect too, because it killed the plants around it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think having a bunch of machines with one of those is a dumb idea.
Okay. Well, we are going in the morning to the docks to see because that's where we saw the weird energy signal, and we're going to see if we can find these dynamos. If they're
Yep.
not there, then there's another place that we could go. So let's.
Yep. So you guys go up to your rooms. You guys also haven't eaten anything.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably
But-
been a while.
You know.
probably need to eat
Anna says,
Wait. Pop a cracker
"Uncle,
in.
I think you should go to bed. I'll make our friends something to eat before they hit the hay." And the uncle just kind of climbs up the stairs after Drac, who just stormed up the stairs, and he says, "You do that, honey." And he just kind of continues climbing up the stairs.
Drac, run.
Drac is
Drac.
kind of
Drac is
up in a room, just kind of fuming. You just hear
Drac.
angry snarling and growling upstairs.
Old one was like, okay, angry Drac. Okay, this is not what I don't like seeing angry Drac. He scares me, especially when he has teeth.
All right. Just.
Anna sits down at the table with how many people are in the party?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 5
wanna-
people. So she
wanna
kind of
ask
puts
about
out
It's
5
Well, it's Aya, Vess, Alduin.
mage
Drac
hand.
has gone upstairs.
Yeah, so
right?
that's so 4
Yes.
mage hand, 5.
Mage can't eat, but he's fake eating with his hands. Forming a mouth with his hands. It's like a
Mhm.
hand. It's this is not working. I'm trying.
And it's 2 bowls of soup well, bowls of soup, like porridge.
Mage hand pours, puts his hand into the hot bowl. Also, old one.
Roll me a d6, please, for burn damage.
Roll d6 for the pain. The pain. I got a 4.
You take 4 points of burn. Non-lethal.
4 points. Ow. Jesus. Ah! Darn it, Mage Hand. Why do you do that? I'm trying to eat it. But eat it with the... Okay, I see you have no mouth, but still.
Aya's quietly eating her soup and just
Yep.
kind of. We've got to find Alex.
What
What
is
is
Alex?
What is
Says Anna.
Alex or
Oh,
Chet doing?
your friend, right?
Lady
Yeah,
Mary.
our friend that's been captured by the other person that you were listening to.
He wasn't really captured. It was more... Well, he was captured. It didn't...
This-
Something happen.
Anna says this. She still has her book and she's like looking through it as she's eating. This Acererak, you call him, or it?
Yes.
Yes.
Mage Hand's like, that is the asshole that took our friend and then did something. We think he got teleported somewhere, and that's one reason we're here.
Telewada? She says.
It move from one place to another
In an instant.
without using a vehicle.
Yeah. It's like an instant movement. Imagine that, Mage Hand says.
She writes down on her book like teleport, in her notebook, and she's like, huh. Anything else that I should know about your people, or?
Well, we're all
We'll-
kind of different
we'll
people
dis-
here, but
We'll discuss that
later.
when it comes.
She
Oh,
goes back to sipping her soup and
just-
she says, takes a sip and then says, so where do you come from exactly? Because obviously you're not from around here, and obviously I've introduced myself, you've introduced yourself. Tell me a little bit more about, like, did you come from the stars? Did you come from another?
Well, old one trying to think. Well, we're all kind of different species.
She writes that down in the book.
We're different places.
Some of us come from one part. Oh God! You know, we really should have asked Lady Mary how we're supposed to frame our answers to questions.
Who's Lady
like
Mary?
this.
She writes that down.
Oh yeah, old one goes, what is Lady
Oh.
Mary doing with Flechette? I don't want to know anything bad is happening. I for some reason don't trust that.
I'm pretty sure that Lady Mary will tell us, oh, what happens. We'll join back up. Remember, she's getting the other bit from space. Remember? Poke, 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 poke.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah, she's Anna's kind of like writing this all down, like as you're talking. In her notebook.
This cloak is really uncomfortable. I didn't realize how uncomfortable this cloak could be for wearing for long times. It's starting to get cold in the cloak for some reason.
She
And
says,
probably because it's infinite darkness in there. Oh yeah.
and Anna says, well, she closes her notebook and puts it under her shoulder and puts her dishes in the sink and then heads towards the hallway, and she says, well, if you need anything, just let me know. I don't know how well you and your friend up there are going to be doing, but all I do ask is that you keep a low profile. I don't want the committee finding you.
Okay.
I don't think we want.
Right.
She heads
we don't
upstairs.
want them on you.
And you guys are left alone down in the kitchen, dining area.
The fact that there is Dalek tech here,
That can't be good.
no, it's not good.
It's not good at all, actually.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm worried about the Dalek stuff, but I'm also mainly worried about, Alex is gone.
Oh, if we've got if we're gonna be, we've got some privacy. I could attempt scrying.
Yeah,
Ah.
try scrying. I mean,
Yeah, scrying
we've
sounds
gotta
like a good idea.
We've got to find Alex.
Does scrying have a range? I don't think it does.
No.
Same plane, I think. That's about
Oh
it.
dear. Okay.
I mean, it
What,
won't
tell
tell
you
us.
if they're in a
The
different
thing
plane?
is it won't tell us exactly where he is. I'll just see what it looks like where he is.
Yep.
Oh, we'll do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try. Okay, so first of all, Vess has to drop his alter self
Yep.
to scry.
Okay, drop,
But,
drop.
but
That's why I
no
needed
one.
privacy.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
obvious why. It's obviously why Vess and Oldwin did not reveal themselves.
what's the roll here? Target must make a Wisdom saving throw, which is modified. I don't know if you're scrying on an ally, if they can like voluntarily fail it. Oh yeah,
Yes.
if the target if the target knows you're casting this spell.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, like
I think
I would
Oldwin's
assume
passed-
Alex is
Alex
hoping
is
that we're
probably
looking
passed
for him.
out. Yeah, he's hoping, or he's passed out. One of the two.
Well, that's true.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So
In which case, if he voluntarily fails, then I get to see where he is.
I don't
after
think he
10
can
minutes.
do much if he's passed out, and if he's awake, he probably wants to be found.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So roll or no.
Cast the tomb.
The tomb.
We're running out of time. We got to get to other parts. We've been wasting so much time.
Mm-hmm. So you rolled a
Okay.
2.
No, he went patum.
Oh.
He cast
Are
the
there-
spell.
There's nothing I have to necessarily roll for this. It's just I cast
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's 3:43. Come on.
All right.
I think I basically
So-
get to see like the 10-foot area around him
you would.
if it works.
You cast the spell,
I cast it. Doop.
and you see something, and that something starts filling your whole vision,
Oh, jeez.
and it's a great white light that
Ooh.
everybody else is kind of. Are we all sitting around
Yeah.
Vess?
We're all
Yep.
sitting around watching.
You're sitting around at the
Okay.
table, dinner table.
Okay. So you see this big bright light. It's so bright that it's blinding, and for some reason, everybody sees it as they're sitting around the table,
Oh.
and you all blink out.
What? What?
And that's where
Hang on.
we're. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on,
Continue.
hang on.
Don't do this to me,
I've got a
please.
button. I've got a
Oh,
button.
you got. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. On the other side, Alex, you wake up. You happen to look down.
What's happened? Why is everything so foggy?
You look down, and those aren't your feet.
What in the?
And then you look at your hands.
What the? Touch his face.
And then you took a closer look at your surroundings.
What the? And the what the? What
And,
the?
and something approaches you,
Stumbles around a little bit, very confused. Like, what?
very confused. Oops, that is not. Where did I put her? Oh, there she is. What you see is a very cute, very chibified little kobold.
What the?
It's
What?
chibified. I know everybody knows what that word means.
This is extra on a cold, I have to assume.
And the kobold runs up to you.
What the?
Hi.
What the? Stumbles
Hi.
back a little bit.
You're here, and I'm here. Oh dear, we're both here.
Does a bit of a cartoony like stumble, like oh whoa whoa. Oh, freaking rounds.
And I hate to break this to you, but we've been cartoonified.
Cartoon of what is? I heard of cartoons, but it never stares at Han very intensely.
And that is where we're ended.
As we
And
slowly fade
it's
to black. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Realms of Awakened Essence, Season 7, Episode 7, Dynamo, Part 1. Part 2 will be run by our lovely Aya Jokin, aka Trisha Welsh. Join us not this week, but not next week, but the following week.
Wait.
Next week. Next week. For,
Wait.
Okay, sorry, we're having a slight schedule hiccup. Give us a moment.
So the 3rd.
Yes, the 3rd.
Got it.
The 3rd of April for Realms of Awakened Essence, Season 7, Episode 7, and I'll let you, Aya, title that one.
Oh, God. Thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Stick around after the credits because we will be raiding into, hopefully, one of our friends who is, I believe, still alive. Let me just check. Yes, they are still alive. All right, and without further ado, thank you, everyone. If we'd like to say who we are and who we played quickly before we sign out. I'm PA Kenny USA, aka your game master for today. I played Anna, the uncle, who we haven't figured out the name of yet, and a few other characters, and we'll pass it on to Vess. Go that way.
I played Dr. Vess, Kobold Doctor,
Scryer
and I guess Gabriel.
extraordinaire.
Scryer Extraordinaire. No. Totally, that was not his fault, I'm going to presume.
All right, and who else?
I am Trisha Welsh. I play Aya Jokin. I played Acererak.
Yay.
very well.
And I also played Lady Mary. And next week I will be your animator.
Ooh, scary.
Alwyn.
Yes,
Go ahead.
it's me. I'm known as Gearbox usually, but well, in this game, I play as Oldwin, Alex, okay, but Mage Hand, and Flechette, and we'll be here all day if I try and go with that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Realms of Awakened Essence. Unfortunately, our dear beloved Moogie was not able to join us. Leilana was kind of nowhere to be found. I don't know why. But they're doing okay. Don't have to worry about them. They are they're doing well. It's just they're not feeling that great, so they were excused from today's game. Hopefully they'll get better, and we do hope that they'll be able to join us for our Toon game coming April 3rd. And if you are still a fan of our show, feel free to drop us a follow. And if you can support us on Patreon. Our Patreon has just recently been updated. And all your support will be going toward helping these lovely people, as well as our show production value, with various elements of our various shows. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, is there any last-minute statements, announcements, stuff like that before we close out?
Not a one.
I'm
All
good.
right. Without further ado, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and remember, be empowered to play.
Always wanna dream of sunshine. Every night I watch the stars, hoping for a sign. My father said, "Come down to earth, my son." But in my heart I knew there's something more out there. So follow me, just follow me. Yeah, follow me to another world. So follow me, just follow me. Yeah, follow me. Don't you wanna lose that?